Hey guys, Prince Sports here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Well, you've seen the after effects, man. Kawhi Leonard got terminated, okay? This is a guy that was perceived as a top 3 best player in the game, or to a lot of people, the best player in the game. You know, being the fact that he won the title, even though Golden State was hurt, I still give him props for winning the title because he played like a superstar in recent years. But I would no longer call this man Baby Jordan. I would no longer call this man the best player in basketball no more. As of today, he has officially given up his crown. That crown now goes to none other than LeBron James. And he has to go back into the drawing board and figure himself out. In a do-or-die game, a Game 7, you score 15 points. I repeat, a do-or-die game. You score 14 points. That's sad. That is incredibly bad. And you should be embarrassed to even step foot on the court and call yourself the Terminator. I think it's officially, we could say Kawhi Leonard's the most overrated basketball player in today's game of basketball. All right. If you take a look throughout his career, he's always had somebody else closing for him. In San Antonio, he wasn't the main closer. He always had somebody bailing him out. In Toronto, he hit a clutch shot against Joel Embiid, yes. But he wasn't always the closer. If you look at a lot of the games, Fred VanVleet was closing more than him. And Fred VanVleet, like many other players that he played on other teams, they took charge like a true alpha. And Kawhi Leonard has failed to show up in the clutch. So Kawhi Leonard being this great clutch basketball player is highly overrated. Okay? He's an overrated clutch basketball performer. And on his Clippers team, Lou Williams was your closer. It's plain as simple as that. So basically, you let a guy like Lou Williams do the closing for you. He's been doing it all season long. Dog, you were supposed to go into the conference finals facing LeBron James. You were supposed to see who's better. But you weren't even good enough to get to playing with LeBron James. Now, I got to eat a lot of crow for this because I said Kawhi Leonard was the best player in the game. I said Kawhi Leonard was going to play against LeBron James in the conference finals. And LeBron James did his part, but Kawhi Leonard did not do his part. And you don't come out with no sense of urgency. You don't guard the best player. You was getting cooked by Luka. You was getting cooked by Joker. And you didn't even go out to look to be the best player on the floor. You score only 14 points. How is that being great? If LeBron James did that, we'd be all over. If Jordan did that, you know, the media will call him out for saying, hey, he has some shortcomings. All right? If Kobe did that, we'd be all over. You cannot be mentioned amongst the greats, Kawhi Leonard, and score 14 points in a Game 7. LeBron James in 2008 scored 45 points in the elimination game, had Game 7 games, and won them. How are you going to be great if you can't do that? You are by far the most overrated basketball player in terms of superstars in today's league. There's no way, no how should you be losing to the Denver Nuggets and not be the best player on the floor. How is that possible? You was perceived as the best basketball player. If you go to the media, Max Kellerman claims Kawhi Leonard was the best basketball player in the world. LeBron didn't make the playoffs last year. Kawhi did. Kawhi took the title that was available. So how is this possible that you lose and you come up short? You don't even drop 50. You don't drop 40. Man, you disappointed a lot of people. And you're not a closer. You're a choke artist. And you know what? I hate to admit it because he's such an idiot. But Skip Bayless was right. Kawhi Leonard was never a closer. you was always having somebody bailing you out. And we're going to have to call it for what we see it. We see a choke artist. We see a guy that consistently choking. It's plain as simple as that. You have one good clutch moment. And I think not only do I have to eat crow, but I have to sit here and say I was bamboozled by Kawhi Leonard. Alright? He had a record of more wins against LeBron. He seemed like he was the next guy coming. But I would never ever mention Kawhi Leonard and Baby Jordan in the same sentence ever again. Because there's no way Jordan would have a 14-point game in an elimination game. Jordan never scored 14 points in an elimination game. Okay? One thing about him, at least he bought it. Okay? Win or lose, you got your money's worth with Michael Jordan. Kawhi Leonard looked it slow. He looked it old. He looked like he wanted no parts of the Joker. This guy looked halfway retarded on the basketball court. Highly disappointed. And this is definitely embarrassing if you're the Clippers. You guys were supposed to be perceived as the champions. People had you as the favorites in Vegas. And Paul George, I didn't forget about you neither. Scripper P. Man, it must be a Clipper curse, but I think whenever Paul George goes onto a team, you're destined to lose. Because this guy is just not a great basketball player in terms of closing and being clutch. He's fool's gold. This tag team duo of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard is a failure. Doc Rivers needs to be fired. Montrezl Harrell, I don't believe is going to come back next season. I believe this team is going to break up. And this was your one shot to prove to the world that you could make history. This was your one shot to get Montrezl Harrell back on the team. And now you ain't going to get them back. So, not only did you come up short, but all these excuses people made for the Clippers saying, oh, they're just waiting for the Lakers. No, dog, you just wasn't that good. That was just it. Call a spade a spade. You weren't that good. You didn't take it. So now you have to go back to the drawing board and get new players. And the funny thing about it is they're going to get new players just to combat LeBron James. You did all this work just to go at LeBron James and failed miserably. Clipper curse is real. And that franchise is a joke of a LA franchise. Just move them out of LA, man. You guys don't deserve to be a franchise of Los Angeles. I guess LA really does belong to purple and gold. So, aftermaths of this. You guys still need another alpha. You're going to need another superstar to combat LeBron James. That's a damn shame. So, Kawhi Leonard, I don't care if he goes on to win the championship the next season, whatever the case may be. You will forever be an overrated basketball player to me. Alright? Because this loss is on you. You had more than enough talent to get over the hump. You were the favorites. You get no pass over here. You flopped. You failed. It's as simple as that. Kawhi Leonard is the most overrated superstar in NBA basketball right now. It is what it is. Prince Sports out. Keep it 3,000.